I'm Jerry Flannery, you're watching The Front Row. Let's start by looking back at last week's action.
Pietao finding Landrandra, lovely pass. Here's the Fijian, Malins again. Beautiful offloading, Morahan spiralling, scoring! And Dombrand will hair into the corner, within range of the try line. Green! Life for Harlequins! It's loose, it's very loose, it's Harlequins' ball, it's James Chisholm! And hurtling forwards now is Liner. Lewis Liner!
This is crazy!
Again, that acceleration, that pass looked a good one. Marchant! He's going to take this all the way. Never in doubt is Tyrone Green. Lovely step from Green. He's there! Smith, wide to Marchant to finish the job.
Slow it down! Guilty! Slow it! No more, no! Get out, Fraser! Keep going, boys!
Pre-season number, is it? Double header? Oh my God. Joseph, that's I love you.
At Ashton Gate, Harlequins turned a game of two halves into a tale of four quarters. But on Saturday, it's a different story. Welcome to The Front Row. And coming up on a bumper episode of The Front Row, we get reaction to the 23 with Jerry Flannery, then have a quick catch up with Captain Stephan Lewies. Will Edwards is going to attempt to teach me how to take a high ball, and fingers crossed it's more successful than my line-out throwing with Joe Gray. We give you the opportunity to win a jersey signed by Marcus Smith, and we're going to take a trip down memory lane as well. Who better to do that with than Jordan Turner-Hall? Exeter Chiefs are the opposition on Saturday, so I caught up with Chiefs superfan and editor of the Rugby Journal, Alex Mead, and we're going to get to know Dino Lamb. If that wasn't enough, there's an all-time 15 with Harlequins podcast Will Wood as well. But first, and maybe most importantly, this is the squad that heads to Twickenham. Three changes in personnel to the Harlequins team that head to Twickenham on Saturday, with James Chisholm coming in on the blindside flank. Andre Esterhazen, after serving his ban, goes straight back into the 12 jersey, and Caden Murley comes onto the right wing in place of the injured Aaron Morris. For Scott Baldwin, Martin Landajo and Ben Tapawai, it is their last performance for Harlequins. And for Joe Marler, Joe Gray, Will Collier and Danny Kerr, it is a second Premiership final in Harlequins colours. Jerry, you've picked a very strong-looking team for the final. Andre straight back in the 12 jersey. Was that a difficult decision to make, or was he always going to be in contention?
It was the coaching group. We come up with it ourselves. We're like, it's never down to one person selecting it. But yeah, it was tough because you look at like Taps has been really good for us, and unfortunately it's James Lang who misses out in the 23 altogether, which is really tough. But I suppose look, we've competition there, and Andre has been exceptional for us this season, and you know, I hope we've made the right decision, but only time will tell at the moment.
Other two changes as well, James Chisholm coming in on the flank and Caden on the right wing. What was the thought process with those two?
Well, Aaron has obviously picked up a pretty bad injury. So we thought Aaron might make it, but he was ruled out with a scan on Monday. So that was Caden was just next man up really there. And then off the back of that, then we felt that James Chisholm had a big impact with his physicality when he came on in the second half, which is very, very tough on Tom Laude, who's been one of our best players. And, you know, looking at it like devil's advocate, you see the momentum that we had in the first half versus the momentum we had in the second half. It is tough, but, you know, we have to be fair as well. And I think when a player produces like James did when he came on the field, you have to reward it.
What about those lads in the front row, Joe Marler, Joe Gray, Will Collier, and then behind them Danny Kerr, who are doing it again at Twickenham 9 years on? It's a heck of a stint for those boys. Yeah, and it's beneficial for us because people can, you know, we can speak to those guys and say, how did it feel when you were back there the last time, and Danny has spoken to the wider group specifically about what it meant to him when he won it in the first time and what his goals are. But we know that we're massive underdogs because this is new ground for us, whereas for Exeter they've been here. This is where they've been living for the last 4 or 5 years. I can't have this conversation with you without bringing it back to last Saturday, and from a fan's perspective, which I was that day, it was magnificent. There have been some lovely pictures of you as a coaching group thoroughly enjoying yourselves at various times. Perhaps not enjoying yourself in the first 20 minutes, but I don't think anybody was. But just talk us through that, because you seem to have such a great group of coaches, such a great rapport with the players, and it sort of all seemed to come together in a lovely moment come Saturday.
Yeah, I suppose it manifested none. Like any of the coaching group or any of the players who told you that they foresaw that coming, or they're lying, they're talking beans. But it was everyone has stepped up massively here, and everyone is contributing, and everyone, I think everyone feels valued. Like we can't perform the way we did on Saturday without the work of the S&C, Gaz Tong and Ed Lee, and then getting the lads that fit that they can go for that long. And then you have Mike Lancaster and Elliot and Chris and all the physios keeping the players fit, keeping them on the field. As coaches, we're just trying not to mess anything up. Really, we've spoken about it that we don't want the semi-final to have been our final.
Yeah.
And I think when we went into Bristol, no one was talking about what we did the week before. No one was talking about the Newcastle game. It was all eyes on Bristol, and we started really poorly. I think for this week now, maybe you have to be fair to the players, and you have to let them decompress and to manage what that game was. Even for the coaches, it was a pretty crazy day. And then after that, then we just start building and make it all about Exeter and having a crack off the champions.
Good luck.
Thank
all
you.
the luck in the world. I can't wait. I don't know if you're nervous or excited or a mixture of all of it, but it's going to be amazing. And with that, let's get the thoughts of the captain, Stephan Lewies. Steph, first full season as captain. You've got the big dance over the road. Feels like an amazing achievement. How are you feeling ahead of it all?
Exciting, more than anything else. I think, it's been an unreal journey to this point. One we've fully enjoyed the Quins way, I would say. And to have the last dance across the road is amazing.
I'm looking at various places where we've had chats over the past few months, and just over there, before we had a chat on Harlequins Live, you said to me semi-finals was the minimum requirement. You got there, you won it. What's the minimum requirement now?
Yeah, I think for us is to go out there on Saturday and put in a performance we can be proud of. I think if this team puts out a performance and play to our full potential, we'll be hard to beat, and I think that's our goal this weekend, to put out a Quins performance that our fans can be proud of and we can be proud of.
The general consensus is, from the outside, that you're all really enjoying your rugby. I mean, you scored under those posts against Bath, threw the ball up, you had a massive smile on your face, you and Domers linked up, and it just looked like you were having the time of your life. Is that the case? Are you enjoying it as much as it appears that you are? 100%.
I think Marcus always say the way we want to play is with smiles on our faces. That's his big thing, and I think we've been doing that this season, like you just said. Everyone is smiling. I mean, if you score that amount of tries, you will be smiling. So, I think the buzz we got after last weekend and what the crowd gave to us, also that gives us smiles. But definitely, the boys enjoying it. It almost feels like you're a little kid again, doing what you love, and I think that's important.
Best of luck.
Cheers.
Everything crossed for you. It's going to be incredible.
Thank
Thanks for
you,
your time.
appreciate it.
Congratulations to Heather Sullivan, last week's competition winner, who correctly answered that Harlequins beat Leicester Tigers the last time they were in the Premiership Final. You win that home jersey signed by Marcus Smith, Alex Dombrandt and Tyrone Green. Fear not though, if you didn't win, you've got another opportunity to win this week. And we are giving away this jersey. The jersey that was worn in the win over Bristol, the jersey that'll be worn over the road in the final against Exeter Chiefs, and in the middle there, you'll see it is signed by Marcus Smith as well. And to be in with a chance of winning, all you have to do is tell us how many points you think will be scored in the final on Saturday. Total points, both teams, add them together, get your guesses in, and you could be in with a chance of winning. The next step in my rugby comeback is maybe moments away. What you don't realise, Will, is you have signed up to increase my skill set. We found out last week that I am categorically not a hooker, but this little 10-15 conduit that you find yourself in, I might be able to slide in. Think you can help me?
Absolutely.
Okay, well today we're going to look at high balls because I'm not sure I can jump and catch. But behind you we've got Jack Stafford, the hardest working man in show business.
Hardest working man, yeah.
And he's going to put a few up. But before that, just give me some basic skills that I need to know.
The basics of the high ball catch, depending on whether you're going to jump for it or whether you're going to catch it on the floor. Well, as soon as it goes up, you just can't take your eyes off it. It's the most important part. If you take your eyes off the ball, you are likely to drop it. The second point, a little point that I've picked up from Brownie. I don't know if you've ever seen him in the backfield. He kind of gets his arms together because you don't really want to be catching it like that, because there's always a chance it can just fly through your hands, hit your chest and roll out, drop it, look stupid. Fantastic. So as soon as it goes up, try and get your arms together so you've always got almost like a little pouch for the ball to fall into.
Okay.
And another useful tip is just to try and catch it almost above your eye line, because obviously as soon as it drops there, there's always a chance you've missed it, you've got something wrong. So if you can get your arms up, catch it down there, bring it down.
Okay.
The jump side of things,
right,
just all about timing.
Perfect.
We
were in such great detail until then.
There's not much else to it really, unfortunately. With the jump, you can kind of start to read, as soon as it starts to come towards you, you have to get up. If you go too early, you're catching it down here.
Yeah.
If you go too late,
cool.
catching it above your head.
Right then, well, you're going to demonstrate. Pop that ball down. Staff's going to send one up.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh yeah. You get a round of applause for that. Nothing.
Nothing from Martin.
The spectators behind you. Martin doesn't want to know. Right, I think I've got it. Let's swap out.
Yeah.
Staff, no rotten bombs from you.
Yeah.
So nervous. Why am I nervous? It's catching a rugby ball. Oh no. Oh.
Over the shoulder, one of the hardest ones.
There was no jump, but it was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah. You've always got to start with over the shoulder. Start nice and hard.
And I've done Staff. Right, let's go again. So I'm going to try and jump one. Let's a bit more shallow this time, please, Jack. So happy I caught that last
There we
one.
go. Get up. Yeah, nice. There you go.
So that was
a little bit wide,
but also funky chicken, wasn't it?
A little bit of, yeah. So there was always a chance that as soon as you went up, if you didn't actually catch it in your hands, you was going straight through.
Right.
The only other point I'd take there as well.
Yeah.
Is you went up this way.
Right.
But opened up like this.
Okay.
If you can try and close yourself off, because you always then give yourself a little bit more chance that it's going to go backwards rather than forwards.
And what you're saying is, if I catch it like that, I'm getting melted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's have
another one.
One more each.
One more.
One more each.
Oh, it's a good kick, that.
Oh, it is good. I'm looking forward to this. Oh. Oh, I hope they have shot this so they can slow it down and put it in the coaching manual.
Right.
Beautiful stuff.
Perfect then.
Right then.
That's a perfect kick, Staffy. Same again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again. Get up. Yeah. Lovely. And drop goal. Not gone over.
It was going so well till then, wasn't it? Edit. Will, I'm coming for your jersey, mate.
Absolutely. I'll be ready. I'll be ready for the fight.
Hooker done. 10:15, maybe. Tune in next time. What should we do? Jackal?
Yeah, Jackal's good.
Look forward to it.
My name's Will from the podcast 2 Words 4 Quarters, and this is my all-time Quins 15. My front three are Joe Marler, Keith Wood, and Adam Jones.
Joe Marler was a tough one because you've got legends like Jason Leonard and obviously Mark Lambert, a true club man for Quins. Keith Wood, because 2 was 4 quarters, what else? We couldn't do anything else with that, could we? And then Adam Jones, again, great servant for the club, not just on the pitch, but also what he's doing now for us off it. My second row is our Premiership 2012 winning second row pairing of Ollie Cohn and George Robson. Couldn't look past either of them. I might squeeze room in for Big Steph if he lifts the trophy this weekend at Twickenham. In the back row, at 6, I've gone with Mo Farsavalu, 7, and captain Chris Robshaw, and number 8, Nick Easter. Gone for Mo at 6 for his power and physicality, something that I think really added to our game back in his days. Couldn't look past Chris Robshaw at 7, a true legend of the club. And number 8, Nick Easter, such good hands for a number 8. I see a lot of similarities between him and of course the main man at the minute, Alex Dombrand. In the half-backs, I've gone for number 9, Danny Kerr, and number 10, Nick Evans. Again, relatively easy selections. Danny, legend of the club, playing some of his best rugby this season. And at 10, Nick Evans, not just for his work on the pitch, although he achieved so much for us, but also for what he's doing for our attack now as a coach. In the centres, I've gone with that man, Jordan Turner-Hall at 12. I think his role in our 2012 season was very underplayed. He's a crucial player for us back in the day, and also what he's doing for the club now and his role in the coaching setup. At number 13, I've gone with Will Greenwood. Again, legend of the game, World Cup winner, a real flair player that sums up the way Quins play. In the back 3, I've gone for that man, Ugo Monya on the left wing, Tom Williams on the right wing, and Mike Brown at 15. Rationale behind that was an easy one. Ugo, legend of the club. Tom Williams, again, for his try in the Premiership Final, but also for the work he did as an academy coach. And then, of course, you couldn't look past Mike Brown. He was a shoo-in for me at full-back. That's my all-time Quins 15. Let me know your thoughts.
Jordan, we are heading to Twickenham on Saturday. Obviously, you're an integral part of this group, but what kind of memories has it brought back from 9 years ago when you were out there doing it on the pitch?
Yeah, I think it's obviously a special moment. You kind of go through all the dark days, a long old season, the rainy days, the horrible weather, but it all comes to this moment. And I think the big thing for me and my experience is we just enjoyed it as a collective, as a group, and just soaked it all in. You know, all the hard work has been done, and it's just about enjoying it and making the most of that memory and making memories as well. Well,
we spoke to Hugo last week, and he was saying about your group of players and how you were these young London lads and you absolutely loved it. And this seems to be a pretty special group as well. What are the main similarities and differences between that group and this, do you think?
I think the boys are diverse in where they're from and their thought. I think everyone's allowed to be individuals and they're encouraged to express themselves on and off the pitch. I think in a lot of ways we're the same. I think the game in general and people coming through are changing, and it's a breath of fresh air for myself to see how the guys have evolved, if you would say, and just enjoying it. I mean, obviously we used to go out and enjoy the social side of it, but obviously due to lockdown and everything else, it's not been easy for the boys, but hats off to them for the way they've kind of created this team camaraderie around these tough times is unbelievable.
How important was that camaraderie at Ashton Gate last week?
I mean, when your back's against the wall at 28 points down, but what was great out there, we were never flustered, we were never stressed. I think the boys had full belief, but it was just about when. It wasn't about how, it was when we were going to fire. And when we did, it was we didn't look back, did we?
No, certainly didn't. What was it like at full time? Because I was one of the lucky 600 who were up there in the corner trying to make as much noise as we could. But you were at the coalface with the lads when the referee's whistle went for full time. What was that like to be a part of?
I think it just to start with, from the start to the finish of entering the stadium, that you could hear the Quins fans, and I think that set the tone. And obviously, I went through every emotion probably 3 times over, and I was blowing as water boy. But I mean, the boys just so composed, never gave in, and I don't think they were ever in doubt. And that was the best thing about it, is we just got such belief as a group. Yeah, no, hats off to them. But
hey, it's hard graft to be water boy though. You're putting some miles in.
Yeah, I know. I need to get back on the treadmill, I think. Yeah.
So your role now, because we spoke right at the beginning of Harlequins Live, and you were coming in as an academy coach, being welcomed back. But what exactly is your role now? Because you seem to be everywhere. Everywhere I look, you're a part of something important.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite unique, really. I'm getting the opportunity to work with the younger guys and blood them through, and then also work with the top guys. And it just, nothing really changes for me. I'm coaching, I like to be in the coalface of it, and I'm just learning on the hoof, and there's no better place or club to do it at the moment right now.
Saturday then, over the road, at the big house. What's the perfect day?
I mean, the perfect day starts here. I think everyone's friends and family are going to be here. And then it's the walk, you know, and you've got to soak it up because it's like a movie. You know, you think about all these people are going to be lined up and you feel like a rock star. The red carpet's been rolled out and everyone's in the crowd just giving you love. And, you know, that gives us energy as a group and as an individual. And it sets the tone for what we're going to do on Saturday.
Which is?
Dominate. We're going to go out there and express ourselves and enjoy it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Thanks for having a chat. Best of luck and enjoy it.
Cheers, mate. Legend.
Once again, a couple of days out from a massive match, I find myself nervous. So I'm going to reach out across the breach for comfort and have a chat to an Exeter Chiefs fan. They're an amazing club, amazing story, amazing supporters, but I found one who's also a rugby journalist, so maybe about as close to a neutral as I'm going to get in Exeter colours. This is Alex Mead. He's editor of the Rugby Journal. He's also a fervent Chiefs supporter. Let's see if I can get some Quins love from him. We've got a Premiership Final on Saturday, and from a Harlequins perspective, it's a massive day. But surely for a Chiefs fan, it's just de rigueur these days. You just expect to get there, don't you?
Yeah, but it's the winning, isn't it? And to be a really great side, you need to win a few, and you don't want that. The spectacular Saracens, you know, you look at them last week, you look at that team, you think there's no way that side is not going to be in contention with, you know, 5, 6, 7 Lions, however many they've got. So we need to prove that we're a long-term side. And like, yes, we've done that by consistently getting to finals, but we need to win them all, you know, like, and now to win this year, it's really important, especially as we're not facing perhaps the favourites that were Bristol. Saracens are back next year. We need to really make a stamp and hopefully get it. But, you know, it's sport and it's Harlequins, so you just don't know, do you?
Absolutely not. It's the hope that kills you. That's what I've been saying all season.
If I was a journalist, you'd be predicting that Exeter are going to win and probably win comfortably. You'll be saying Harlequins have had their final, etc. But on the other side, you're like, well, is this a great journey that Harlequins are on? The spirit of the changing room seems amazing. That, you know, Adam Jones, who we love, the Rugby Journal is there, and he's there, and you've got these players. Marcus Smith is just magic, who, again, someone we've done in the Rugby Journal. And you just, I could argue with myself, and I don't want to jinx anything. I'm so suspicious. I just won't ever say we're going to win because something could happen. So it's going to be a hell of a game. I just don't want it to be too loose. But then does it matter after seeing how Bristol collapsed? What, you know, I watched the first half and I had to go out to pick the kids up, and I was like, well, it's fine because this is 60-0 to Bristol or what have you. And then I checked the score. I was like, what the hell? And I think there's so many amazing players in both lineups. But it just also think about next year. How good are these sides going to be? If they recruit well, you know, Quins are going to be up there. Sale as well.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing that happened to us last weekend was you doing that to Bristol, because that Sale side really strong, but you gave us a heads up to say, don't get complacent because look what happened. And I bet that was part of the team talk. You know, even though Rob Baxter probably, what he did to tell them to stop watching it, they obviously knew the score and reminding everyone that this can happen to you. You know, no one thought Bristol would do anything other than wipe the floor with you guys. And what a performance. And I just hope you don't do it again.
Finally, then, and I hate to ask this question, particularly because I'm not going to like the answer, but do you have a prediction for what happens at Twickenham?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a similar scoreline to the Sale one, to be honest. I think we seem to come out or get 40 points in these games. I think we will need to get 40 points because I think you guys can score, and you've got so many threats there. I don't think I'm going to say it's not low scoring. It's going to like be torrential rain. It's going to be like 9-6 now, but I'm going to say a similar sort of scoreline, maybe 42-35
to Harlequins, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Finally, then,
I am gonna back us to 42-35 to Exeter.
Oh, goodness me! If it's 42-35 either way, then rugby supporters are going to have a hell of a day, and that is what it's all about.
Good luck, guys. Look, I think it's amazing what like Adam Jones and the guys there have done. Like I said, a huge Adam Jones fan, and I really hope it is a cracking game, and certainly that you guys are going to become sort of contenders from here on in.
Fingers crossed. Cheers, mate.
All right. Cheers, mate. Take care.
Dino, you are dangerously close to 50 appearances as a first teamer, so I thought it was about time we got to know you. Is that all right?
Yeah, happy days.
Okay, good. Starting with music. The lads tell me you're a musician. True or false?
False.
Excellent. That's a good start. Fashion.
Bugger. Yes.
So you've done a little bit of modelling.
I've done a few shoots.
Anybody
yes.
watching won't be surprised. Is that something for a bit of fun or something you'd like to take a bit more seriously at some point?
I think it was initially something obviously I enjoyed, and then I was like, all right, I could actually properly do it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
luckily managed to do quite a decent shoot kind of thing. But I think now, after a few scars up here, nose kind of off centre, I think I might not be him anymore. So
we'll let the fans be the judge of that. But quite an exciting thing to do. Let's talk rugby then. When you re-signed a couple of years ago, you said you love the club and it is the only place you'd ever wanted to be and play.
Yeah.
Is that still the case? What's it like to be a part of this group?
That's still the case. It's, especially now, like, it's a very special group. And we were just saying out there in our huddle there that obviously these group of boys won't be the same again next season. So obviously we've got the opportunity to go into this final and tear up and really enjoy it. So.
Well, if you look over my shoulder, that is Twickenham over there, and you are in the squad for a Premiership final. That's the stuff dreams are made of, right?
Yeah.
Let's do a couple of quick fire questions then. Starting with rugby, best player you've ever played against?
See, Semi Redrado is probably the one. It's a go-to though, which is what I was thinking elsewhere, but no. The way he, like, lower body obviously moving one way, off body moves a different way. It's just phenomenal, some of the offloads and change of direction that he has.
Best Quins memory?
Best Quins memory? Probably now, actually. I'd say it's coming.
If you weren't a professional rugby player, what would you be?
I'll probably be in some sort of design course, design ergonomics, kind of my thing back at school, or some of the design stuff that I did back at Cranley. I was bringing it forth to Rhino at the time, so it was like a line-out training aid.
Okay.
So patented, did everything like that, had all the designs and everything. And we took it to them, but it wasn't the right time for them to obviously commit, so I've still got everything on the side, so maybe later down the line.
Lamb's line out, watch this
there
space. All right then, on a game day,
first
best thing to eat before a game, best thing to eat after a game. Best or favourite? Nutrition go out the window here, you take your pick.
It might not be the best, but it's like my go-to is always yoghurt, granola, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, banana, that kind of thing. After game, pizza has been the go-to here, so I'll stick with that, or obviously burger and chips. So.
Got to get those calories in somehow. All right, couple more and then we'll leave it. If I have a chat to you on Saturday evening, where are you? What are you doing?
Back here, hopefully, celebrating a win. We've got a little place booked up afterwards. So
And what are you doing in the off-season?
In the off-season, I've actually bought a place. So I'll be moving in, So moving in with my missus. Hopefully we're setting all that up in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Hopefully have the keys, solicitors all done.
Huge congratulations. And also, hopefully, that is a new training kit for next season, so you can get white paint all over it when you're redecorating. Great to have a chat, mate, and all the very best on the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's that then. The front row done and dusted for the season. But before we sign off, I'd like to talk about this jersey, because it's not the quarters that Quins fans know and love, but it's a jersey that's provided us with amazing memories and some glory. It's what Quins women wore when they went to Kingsholm and came back with the Premier 15s trophy. And when things weren't going well here at the Stoop, it's the jersey that went on the road and won at Gloucester and Wasps and Northampton Saints, which in the grand scheme of things are massive victories. It's the jersey where we won in the last minute at London Irish, and it's the jersey where we went to Ashton Gate, where 600 Quins fans in the corner of a massive stadium sounded like a full Stoop. And Don Brandt gave us hope, and Marchant finished the job, and Marler played 94 minutes. And on Saturday, it's the jersey that we'll wear at Twickenham against Exeter Chiefs. 6-time finalists, Premiership champions, European champions who are bang in the middle of a dynasty. But this team, these players, this season, this jersey, you never know.